Do you ever picture your future and see yourself thriving, financially secure with the freedom to pursue your dreams? Or are you dreading the idea of being perpetually short on cash, struggling to make ends meet, and constantly questioning your financial choices well into adulthood? Well, today we are going to talk about a serious topic: college degrees that, based on statistics, are far more likely to lead to significant financial struggles. So, this isn't about crushing anyone's aspirations but rather about providing vital information. So, what could be more disheartening than dedicating years of your life and accumulating substantial debt for a degree that leaves you financially constrained? So, let's dive into some educational paths that you might seriously want to reconsider before signing those tuition agreements. Here are some degrees statistically linked to financial challenges. Number one, pop culture studies. So, first up, one of the most perplexing choices, a degree in pop culture studies. Our research indicates that the job market for this field is extraordinarily limited. We are talking about a mere handful of dedicated roles nationwide, not hundreds, not thousands, but a truly tiny number. You might have a better shot at becoming a professional athlete than securing a job specifically in pop culture studies. And even those rare opportunities often exist in major metropolitan areas where the cost of living is exorbitant, potentially making your starting wage feel insignificant. So think about it. You could spend a fortune to analyze modern media or popular entertainment, which sounds engaging, but employers are primarily interested in skills that generate revenue. They often struggle to see the direct business value that this degree brings. For its practical application in the job market, I'd give this a uselessness score 10 out of 10. So it's incredibly impractical and much of the knowledge can be acquired freely. 2. Gender studies. Next, we have gender studies. This degree has unfortunately become a focal point of discussions about impractical majors. The number of listed jobs requiring this specific degree is quite small and continues to decline. Most graduates often find themselves in general administrative or support roles such as human resource coordination, community outreach, or nonprofit work. These are valuable positions, but they typically do not require this specific degree or, in many instances, any degree at all. This suggests the degree doesn't typically provide the specialized expertise that commands higher salaries. Another perfect 10 out of 10 on the uselessness scale. So, another one is art history degree. The few positions available are overwhelmingly concentrated in highly expensive cities like major cultural hubs. A typical starting salary, if you are fortunate enough to land a job, might barely cover rent in these areas, forcing tough financial choices. Many art history graduates speak of the scarcity of jobs directly in the field. The limited roles that do exist are fiercely competitive, often demanding advanced degrees, extensive networks, or even family connections. Many resort to unpaid internships or low wage positions just to gain a foothold. The financial outlay for this degree can be staggering, with some graduates accumulating over $100,000 in student debt. It's like paying premium university prices for a credential that offers very little direct career advantage. I'm assigning this a solid 9.5 out of 10 for its uselessness. So, before we continue, let's talk about smart education. Many traditional degrees can leave you struggling, but there are paths to valuable knowledge and skills. That's why I want to tell you about Wisdomy. If you are looking for focused, effective learning, Wisdomy offers one-on-one online live tuitions for K-12 students and comprehensive preparation for competitive exams. It's about getting personalized attention and the precise skills that you need to succeed. The best part? Wisdomy offers a free trial class before you commit. You can experience the quality of their instruction directly. So don't let uncertainty about your academic future hold you back. Reach out to Wisdomy and book your free trial class today. It's a fantastic way to invest in your knowledge and build a stronger foundation for your future without the uncertainty of some of these degrees that we are discussing. So find the link to Wisdomy in the description below. Moving on, we have liberal arts or general studies degrees. I'm grouping these because their career outcomes are often quite similar. Essentially, there are a very few, if any, specific jobs that explicitly require these degrees. The role graduates qualify for are typically those that can be secured with almost any degree, or in many instances, no degree at all. Even in regions with a low cost of living, these starting salaries often mean living like a student well into your 30s. It's noteworthy that these two degree types account for a substantial percentage of all student loan debt in the country, indicating many people pursue them. This path frequently necessitates pursuing graduate degrees just to gain some specialization, and even with a doctorate, securing a job directly related to liberal studies can be challenging. In a sense, it's akin to getting a degree in general knowledge that you could largely acquire for free through self study. Given the widespread pursuit of these degrees despite their limited career utility, I'm giving them another 10 out of 10 uselessness score. Next, we combine sociology and anthropology. So, a considerable number of students they still graduate with these degrees annually. While inherently fascinating fields, your odds of, say, becoming a successful online content creator or starting your own business are often better and with potentially higher income potential. This dynamic has even been linked to a kind of educational cycle. While I find these subjects intriguing, much of what you learn can be accessed for free from top universities online. The uselessness score here is a 9 out of 10. Psychology. Now, I genuinely believe in the value of mental health support, but the numbers present a stark reality. Annually, tens of thousands of individuals earn bachelor's degrees in psychology, with thousands more completing master's and doctoral programs. However, the total number of psychology related jobs nationwide is significantly lower than annual graduate output. And a crucial point, the vast majority of these available positions require advanced degrees. This imbalance means there are simply far too many psychology graduates for the available jobs. Furthermore, many of the cities with more job openings are incredibly expensive, meaning entry level salaries might barely cover basic living costs even with multiple roommates. While psychology is valuable, a bachelor's degree alone often provides very limited job prospects. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10 on the uselessness scale, and frankly, that's being rather generous. A significant portion of the actual jobs in this field are located in incredibly urban centers, and even the overall number of positions isn't particularly high to begin with. So, this degree is communications degree, and it's sometimes informally referred to as athlete's degree. Because its perceived ease makes it a popular choice for students who need a less demanding academic schedule. Roles like public relation managers exist, but often you don't need a specific degree to get started in such fields. Communications is incredibly broad, offering very general skills. Employers often struggle to identify specific tangible skills that you bring to the table that justify a substantial salary. You could potentially spend a larger sum on tuition only to land a job with a modest annual income. While effective communication is an invaluable life skill, it's not necessarily something that you need a specific college degree for, nor it's the best learned solely in classroom. It's too general, lacking specific in-demand expertise. So my uselessness score for this is 8.5 out of 10. Now comes biology. Many people assume all STEM degrees are a guaranteed path to success, but not all are created equal. Consider this, there are far more biology graduates each year than there are available jobs nationwide, even with a generous estimate of openings. So, the reality is, for most biology related careers, you likely need to pursue a master's or even a doctorate just to secure a position. And often, even with advanced degrees, you might still start in a relatively low paying role, making it difficult to tackle accumulating student loan debt. I know someone who spent over a decade in college earning multiple advanced degrees just to finally land a job after initially pursuing biology as a pre med path. While the field of biology itself is crucial for scientific advancement, a bachelor's degree alone often falls short. You could argue it's even less practical than a psychology bachelor's. I give it a 7 out of 10 on the uselessness scale, recognizing that it can be a stepping stone for professionals like doctors or pharmacists, right? Because it leads to a degree with limited direct application. Next is a photography degree. Yes, there are many photography jobs out there, full time, part time, freelance, but here's the crucial point. Almost none of them care about your degree. You're essentially paying tuition to learn skills that countless individuals have mastered for free through online tutorials, workshop, or practical experience. The most lucrative photography gigs are often in those same high cost of living cities where a modest starting salary won't stretch very far. Creativity, they suggest, often gets stifled in such academic environments. While photography roles exist, the degree itself offers little advantage. I rate this as 7.5 out of 10 on the uselessness scale. Then we have puppetry. Yes, this is a real accredited college degree. You can literally pay for a degree to learn the art of puppetry. The irony? Most highly successful professionals in this field, like famous ventriloquists, never obtained a puppetry degree. It's a skill primarily owned through practice and hands on learning. If you truly need instruction, hiring a professional for private lessons over several years would still cost a fraction of a college degree, and you would get tailored one-on-one coaching. So it makes absolutely no logic sense to go to the college for this. It's so niche yet so unnecessary that even top practitioners don't have the degree. It feels like a clear instance of colleges offering degrees purely for revenue. The uselessness level here is truly off the charts and 11 out of 10. Now I know some of this might be tough to hear, especially if you have one of these degrees and if you're doing well with them. So that's fantastic, but you're likely an exception, not the norm. The harsh reality is the economy doesn't care about your passion alone. It cares about the tangible value that you can bring. So, the education system in many places, particularly in the US, is undeniably flawed. Many of these degrees, common here, are rarely seen in other countries where education is often more affordable. The problem is, pursuing these paths can saddle young people with lifelong student loan debt for degrees that offer little financial return. My advice: be strategic. Choose a path that realistically leads to success and not endless debt. And while passion is wonderful, sometimes pursuing it as a career, especially if it doesn't pay, can actually diminish your enjoyment. It's perfectly fine to keep certain interests as hobbies, something that you do for stress relief after work, rather than forcing them into a career that leaves you struggling. So you can explore your interests later when you're not burdened by loan payments. There are countless excellent ways to educate yourself, many of them free or very affordable, especially online. So, I encourage you to explore practical skills and fields that are in demand. Your financial future depends on making informed choices.